Hey y'all, from Spindle Mountain Mercantile. I am Heather. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We'll jump right in to see what I made with Mama, but don't forget to watch the bonus reel where you can see what my sweet husband made for her. Project number 1.
Instead of buying wooden hearts, I drew out a heart template and I cut 3 hearts out of cardboard. I glued them together, clamped them so they'd be good and firm, and then to make the edges a little smoother, I put on masking tape. And it's just as solid as wood. To make a better Valentine, I cut out this batting.
Mama, why does your batting have glitter on it?
This is one of Heather's antique finds. These were Christmas tree skirts, just batting and glitter around it. Heather had me make a tree skirt was one, and I said, that's not my thing. Too much fabric for what you got. Now, we'll put some hot glue on this, and I think we'll use this fabric. On this, you have to be careful that you don't have the I love you upside down, I found out. Don't ask me how I found out.
She's laughing because I'm trying to cut fabric with my husband's shop scissors. None of my scissors work. You can hear the snipping in the background. I'm sorry. I'll find the scissors. Golly. Kelly? Have you seen my new fabric scissors?
All right, so this is going to be the top. I'm going to put glue around the,
The perimeter?
Perimeter.
Look at us with the big words. Want me to do it? And you just put, so right on this part or on the fabric?
On this part.
Okay. As the scissors saga continues, you should understand I always ruined my mama's scissors when I was a kid. She wouldn't let me touch them. I can't find the scissors you bought me for Christmas. You put a tag on my scissors you gave me for Christmas. You should have put an Apple tag or an Air tag.
What's that?
It's a thing people put on their kids' cars so they can keep track of where they go.
What if I don't want to know where you go? I spent 20 years finding out where you were.
Oh, gosh. Before the internet told you. Mom, don't. They think I was perfect.
You were perfect.
Oh, gosh. Stop.
Everything you did with style.
I definitely did it with gusto. And your fabric scissors. I'm telling you right now, I do not deserve this woman. She is way better yonder past what I deserve. After we glued the piece on the back, we flipped it over and I added some ribbon to make a bow. I did 2 pieces of contrasting ribbon in an upside down V, making sure the pretty side is facing forward. Then I used some smaller red and white gingham ribbon to make a bow you would tie like how you tie your shoelaces, and I just glued it right on top. All we have to do is add some red lace to the back, but we don't have any here, so Mom is going to take that home and finish it. In the meantime, I'm going to share with you some of the other Valentines like this Mama made. In the first one, she decoupaged fabric right onto the hearts, and in the second one, she cut a heart-shaped hole and hung a smaller heart in the middle. Project number 2. These were on the 90% off clearance at Hobby Lobby. I want to say it was $3 or $2.99 or something, so I probably paid 30 cents for it. It has Give Thanks on the front. I'm using Debbie's Liquid Patina Crystal Clear Chandelier. Y'all look at that. I think this is going to be the last project. I am so proud of myself for not ruining this. I think, you know what, we're going to put this right here. I don't think this fabric has it up or down. I'm just going to bring it pretty close to the edge. I did not iron the fabric. When you decoupage fabric or glue the entire thing down, you don't have to. That process of gluing it or decoupaging gets those wrinkles out. Decoupaging fabric is a little different than paper, but you know what the biggest difference is? It leaves less wrinkles. It looks, I can't say it looks better when you're done, because that's just a matter of taste, and I've seen some really nice decoupage papering, and with tissue papers too, it just depends on the design. It is smoother. For me, it always is smoother. And you'll notice I didn't cut this. I used to trim my fabric, but I discovered something, and I will show you that after this dries. I might even have to open my new liquid patina. You know what? I think I do, because I don't know if I have enough to cover this. Ooh. Oh boy, howdy. Well, there's some up in here. Let's see. Let's see what happens, shall we? I'm giving a really thick coat to the top of the fabric as well. I'm not putting the fabric on the top or the bottom. Both of those areas will just remain white. And yep, I gotta go get, oh wait, hang on. I don't have to go get another one. There's enough in the lid. Woo! I stored it upside down last night. Get that to close. Oops, there's a string is in there. Let's get that string out. Lots of strings. I should probably cut those off. All right, we got it there. I need a little bit down here. Wow. Oop, didn't know that could come out, but there we go. Okay, we're going to let that dry. I'll see you back here in a little bit. Now that it's completely dry, I'm using sandpaper to make it a very straight edge instead of cutting it first. There is a little line I just showed you. That's because I pulled my sandpaper across it. You don't want to do that. You want to pull it down away from where the pretty part is. And eventually it will tear just like this. I started doing this with decoupage fabric because inevitably when I cut it first, I will either have lines showing from where I drew the pattern or I will cut it crooked. And this way it goes right up to the edge and makes a perfect straight line. You may be surprised at how easily vintage buttons are found. Before you go searching out some in thrift stores or antique stores though, ask some of your friends and relatives if they have any, especially your older friends and relatives. Sometimes people hang on to stuff because they just don't know what to do with it. It might have some kind of either monetary value or sentimental value to them, and they would rather give it to somebody like you who's going to make something wonderful with it than they would throw them away or give them away to strangers. I put these buttons on this thing so many different ways. I bet you I had an hour's worth of film. I kid you not. Now, I will say I was playing bridge with Mama online, so I was distracted in between, but I finally decided I needed some kind of outline in which I could put them. So I took a piece of foil pipe cleaner and I turned it into a very long heart and I put my buttons in that. I had to overlap them in places because it was hard to fit them. Then I added another foil pipe cleaner around that and it looked really good. It looked nice and clean. I had to drill a new hole for my picture holder because I decided to, make it go up and down instead of landscape across. And now I'm just using a piece of string that's way too big for my buttonholes, so I should have used a needle. I'm not going to show you all of that. It took me a very long time to put the buttons on this string. I should have done it right with a yarn needle, and that's what I recommend you do. And now I'm just fraying the end of the little knot I tied. Next, I took one of my Valentines from the book I found in the trash. I think it's from the 70s. And I'm showing you here, this is how I cut when it's not a straight line. Instead of moving my hand that's holding the scissors, I move the other hand and move the object I'm cutting, and I get a better cut that way. I'm more in the lines. Now I'm cutting a piece of cardboard, very thin cardboard. You could use like a cereal box. This is a cover of one of my IOD books, and I just glued that to the back of the puppy dog. And now I put my scissors in where it goes inside that wire so it won't tear it. And this is all I did. I love this one. It's so cute. Project number 3. Before we begin, let me show you the inspiration for this project. This is from a pin, and I found the original pinner. It's AdirondackGirl@heart.com. For this little creation, we were turning hymnal pages into cones. And I'm telling you right now, I did not like the method that Mama is demonstrating. This is a styrofoam Christmas tree, and we thought we could just glue the hymnal pages on it. I can't explain why I didn't like it as much as the others. It just didn't feel right. My thought was I could put floral in the styrofoam. It wasn't what I wanted. So let's look at the others. This is just it's actually a cover of an Iron Orchid Designs transfer book, and I just made a funnel out of it. And Mama's gonna put glue all over it with just a glue stick. You could probably decoupage this too.
Okay, now we have glue all over it. Let's see if we can...
This one's the fastest to make. This is simply a hymnal page that's rolled up and glued to itself. It worked, but it did get a little wrinkled when we added the decoration. This one is more sturdy. I think this is good. I think this is all you need, really. I thought the styrofoam would be so much better, but this one was by far the best one. And when we make more, I will make them this way with a piece of light cardboard and then decoupage or glue the hymnal page over it. I want to do some of this on this one. This has stars on it. I think I'm going to cut those off. I use what I have, folks. Try not to buy a lot. I bought some pipe cleaners. In the inspiration, she used antique tinsel instead of what I'm using, but I found these pipe cleaners on Amazon, and I will leave a link to those. If you buy anything from Amazon by using my link to get there, they will give me a small compensation, but won't change your price. Just make sure when you get there, you get exactly what you want. Look around. Go make sure it's the right size, the right style, the right color, everything you want. Get what you want. I cut out a vintagey looking postcard that I found on Graphics Fairy. I glued that to a thin piece of cardboard. And by the way, one of y'all recommended I seal that cardboard when I do this. So I did start doing that. I just didn't show it in the video. So thanks, Patty. I'm trying to only put it on the edge. Let's see if that works, shall we? Just putting a little bit on there gingerly. I'll do it like this though. And it is a little bit over the front, more than I would say it's on the exact side. Yeah, that's gonna work. I like that. You know what? If I don't get these corners very good, I might just round off the cardboard. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna need a little bit more, but that's okay. The stuff I cut the stars off of is some of that wrapping decoration from maybe Dollar Tree at Christmas time. I put that around the opening of one of the cones, and I loved that one. I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for vintage miniature garland. I simply glued the center of the cardboard on the cone so it didn't like wrap around. It kind of sticks out. I like that. It was more dimensional. I use several different things like beaded ribbon for the handles, but I liked this one the best, where I made the handle out of pipe cleaner that matched the pipe cleaner that went around the opening. I also wish I would have done more glitter. I added glitter to this little heart just around the edges, and that looked so good. On another project I did in this video, I think it's the very last project in this video, I put some of that glitter from Hobby Lobby that's kind of iridescent on the whole heart, and I love that. I wish I would have done that for more of these, and I will do more later. For more decoration on these, on one I did a little bit of rub and buff. On this one I added some glitter around the bottom. I just did different things, and you can play with it and make it how you want yours. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but when you look at the pictures at the end, you will see what I did, and maybe you can glean some ideas from that. In a couple of them, I put some tissue paper in there and then added some floral arrangements, and those are nice, but I think I can make more money and it's less time consuming if I sell them just so people can put their own candy in them. What do you think of these? Project number 4. This is Debbie's DIY liquid patina, and it's crystal clear chandelier. It's a great decoupage medium.
Okay, now we're going to put this music on here.
And don't worry, this is from a hymnal that was in the trash. Mama used her fingers to get out most of the bubbles and wrinkles, and then she went over it with a piece of thin cardboard and pulled it both directions to get out the rest of them. Then she added more liquid patina to the top, and we let it dry. 220 grit sandpaper works good for this, but when you don't have 220 grit sandpaper, a nail file works just fine, right, Mama?
Yep.
And you only go one direction away from the piece, so it won't tear back onto your piece. I told Mama that, and what'd you tell me?
This is not my first rodeo.
I'm not certain where Mama found these letters, but if she can't find stuff at Dollar Tree, she usually goes to Hobby Lobby and then Michael's. She applied them with some of that foam double back tape. You can get that at Dollar Tree, and I think they even have Gorilla Brand. This is a multi-purpose nail file. Not only is it good for filing nails and using as sandpaper, it also works as a measuring tool. All I'm doing is laying it down on this ribbon that I got on clearance after Christmas. It's wired on both sides. And I fold the ribbon back over it with the back side facing each other. And then I fold the pretty side back over itself, and I pull the file out and do it again. I don't know the exact measurements, but since I'm doubling it up, what you want to do is measure all the way around your item with your ribbon or a measuring tape. Some people use those, and then double that, and then add a little bit more just in case you get off a little bit, because you can always cut it down, but you can't add more. I glued it onto the board about 1/3 of the way into the ribbon, because you have to have a little bit of extra ribbon when you get to the corners. And then you want to make sure that when you go around the corner, both edges of that folded piece on the corner goes behind the wood. So you can see right here from the back side, that's what that looks like. To glue it on, I push it down onto the glue with my finger on the double fold, and then I lift up my finger and pull the next fold back, and I just continue doing that all the way around. This board came with other boards in the set, and it had holes in it so you could connect them. Mama used some caulking to fill that in. We could put another board on the back of this to hide all of the places where the ribbon goes around, and that also reinforces the tie at the top. And that also would reinforce the ribbon at the top that you hang it from. But we decided to use what we have and go a cheaper route, and we simply cut a piece of cardboard out for that. The stripes on this ribbon are velvet, and I found the exact same color red velvet in some velvet I found at Amazon. I'll leave a link for that in the description. After I used my heat gun to remove the glue strings, it was time to add some floral. Mama wants this to have some red roses. She wants these here, and then she wants some greenery. She didn't really like the greenery I had. Let's see if I can find some more. This is the one I thought would be pretty-ish. We did have this ivy pick I got for free. Or cheap, I don't know. I went to pick up some marketplace stuff, and the gal I was buying from said, "Hey, you like crafting?" And I was like, "Yeah." She said, "Well, I will sell you all of my crafting stuff I don't use for $10. It's like, okie dokie. That was awesome. So I believe this was in there. I took apart 3 leaves at a time, and I put each rose right in the center of that. And then I cut out 2 other leaves to put on either side of where those roses were. And Mama's love sign was done. Isn't it cute? Project number 5. This was so easy and very inexpensive. I did use a wooden heart, but in the future I wouldn't. I would just make a heart like Mama did with the cardboard. And then I would decoupage it like I did this with Debbie's liquid patina and a hem. Then I used Debbie's liquid patina again and added the opalescent glitter from Hobby Lobby. This is just crepe paper, and I put it on about maybe a third of the way in or a half of the way in. But this is really cool because you see how I didn't show you how to put it on? Not very much. Well, that's because my big old hands kept getting in the way. It's okay though. Just put it barely over the edge and you can trim it to fit exactly how you want. I painted some little wooden hearts from Hobby Lobby with gold metallic paint. Then I added some of the foil pipe cleaner around the heart, and I put a Chanel pipe cleaner on the back for a hanger. Then I trimmed the crepe paper to make it exactly what I want. They are as cute as they can be, and I think I can sell them for $1.50 each. Remember these pretty little stars my mama made with clothespins? I'll put a link for that in the description, but in the meantime, check out this.
My sweet mother-in-law was making some stars out of clothespins. She was freehanding it, using braces on the back to get them to stick together. She asked me if I could find a better way for her to do it, so I came up with this for her. To help her glue these together so that the holes lined up, I put this in there so she can glue that together. Then when that's glued together, she'll just glue this flat piece to that flat piece, so I don't have a jig for that. But once she's got all these pieces made, she's having a hard time getting them lined up. So I've got 3 holes on each piece, and I drew a little picture so to make it easier to, when she gets all these on here, she's got them all lined up. She's using bracing pieces, so she'll do the, if she glues the faces, then it'll probably glue it to the board. But this is it's a fairly snug fit, so that when it's all together, she'll have to get under here and just kind of go around and pry them off a little bit at a time until the whole star comes up. But that's
Genius.
that's how I did it, and it's so she can see what it's supposed to look like instead of just a bunch of nails sticking out of a board. I drew the star so that it's a guide.
You're very good to my mama.
Well, she's easy to be good to.
Aw. Most of the time.
Her daughter, not so much.
Oh my gosh.
So there.
Isn't that amazing? When I saw it, I kind of gasped. I was like, honey, he's just so good. And he's so good to my mama and me. We are certainly blessed. Did y'all have a favorite? I liked them all. Again, I hope that's not a cop-out. But you know what? Even the ones that aren't like my favorite, if I made them with my mama, those hearts have my heart. You know what I mean? If you are new here, I'm so glad you found my channel and I welcome you. Please subscribe if you like my content. You will not be sorry because I have the best viewers around. They like to talk to each other in the comments. They pray for each other. They laugh with each other and help each other with all kinds of ideas and tips for crafting and life in general. And to those of you who have been here a while, thank you for coming back. I love y'all, and Mama and I are grateful for each of you. Until you see us again next time, we hope you have a wonderful week. And as always, we hope you are blessed. Bye.